Phil Steele and CBS Sports just released their jarring Big Ten predictions, and oh my goodness, I have heard some crazy things, but one thing has come up more than others, that Nebraska was completely disrespected, that they trampled all over the Big Red. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my instant reaction. What exactly do they have to say about the Huskers? What is their prediction for us? Is it valid? Is it not? And everything else you need to know. So really quick, this is going to be a fun reaction video. Hey, if you're having a good day, because I know I am, hit that like button. And also, if you're a diehard Nebraska fan and you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? For daily content, talking your favorite team, talking Huskers, it's a no-brainer. Takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get into it. Reacting to both Phil Steele and CBS Sports, their predictions for the Big Ten in 2025. I've heard that Nebraska was completely disrespected by both. Now, we'll get things started with CBS Sports, what they have to say. They have their best and worst case scenarios for every squad in the conference. And then we'll get to Phil Steele because he's always accurate about the Big Ten. It feels like his predictions pretty much always come true. So it's definitely important what he has to say about Nebraska. But I want to get things started with CBS Sports. So once again, their best and worst case scenarios for every squad. And they were very, very honest, to say the least. You'll see that when we get to the Nebraska portion, but we'll go over every single team in the Big Ten. Let's get things started with Illinois. So, man, Illinois, very hyped up this year. And honestly, they've been talking a lot of crap about Nebraska, whether it's about our new quarterback commit, Trey Taylor, the fact they beat us yet last year on Friday Night Lights. So honestly, I'm kind of hoping Illinois falls short of expectations this year. Now, they say best case scenario is 11-1. I personally don't see that. Yes, they're returning a lot of production on both offense and defense, but I just don't know if they're talented enough to go 11-1 with the schedule that they have. So I think probably best case is 10-2. Now, they say worst case scenario is 5-7. Honestly, I don't think that. I think they'll probably sneak into a bowl game because they're very well coached with Bielema. But again, I would definitely love it if they went 5-7. Oh my goodness, I would love that because again, that fan base, man, they're starting to hate Nebraska. And honestly, I'm starting to hate them a little bit back with the way they're disrespecting us constantly. Then we get to Indiana. Oh, kind of same deal here. 11-1. I can't see it. I can't see it happening again. Magic is not going to strike twice here. Again, Indiana is going to be very good. I think Fernando Mendoza. Well, hold on. And the last sentence here, they say, Fernando Mendoza has people talking Heisman and the possibility of being a #1 overall pick. That's never happened in a million years. He's a good quarterback. He's not that good. But again, I think it's going to be solid for him. I think their best case scenario is 10-2. Worst case scenario, 5-7. I think it could be honestly worse. I think it could be worse with, again, the amount of production that they're replacing. Iowa, 10-2 for Iowa. Worst case, 4-8. Again, these are very big differences. They got to narrow this down a little bit. 10-2. I just don't see it this year. I think it's probably 9-3, even 8-4. I don't think they have enough production on offense. And the fact that they got an FCS quarterback now at the helm while he was solid at South Dakota State, is he going to be solid in the Big Ten? I doubt it. Worst case scenario, I also think that's a little bit too low. Like, this is a Kirk Ferentz coach team. They're going to be at worst case 6-6. So I think it's either going to be 6-6 or 8-4 or 7-5. Maryland, no, the Maryland's going to be terrible. That's a way too high best case scenario. Maryland's going to be 6-6 at best. Move on. Michigan 12-0. I don't see a world where a true freshman quarterback goes 12-0. I don't see a world. And again, they play Oklahoma non-con. They play Ohio State in there. They play Michigan State in there. Like, that's just not going to happen. But again, I could see 11-1 for them. Worst case 7-5. That's fair. That's fair. I like that. Michigan State. I just don't see where Michigan State goes 9-3. I think they really lack talent. They didn't do great in the portal. Ian Child's historically overrated. 3-9 though. Definitely can see that for that. Minnesota 10-2. Oh, heck no. Heck no. Well, again, they're just throwing up stuff at this point, man. 10-2 for Minnesota. Worst case 4-8. I think that's a lot more likely. And then here's Nebraska. All right, let's get to Nebraska. Best case scenario. They think 11-1. They say after 15 years of hoping Nebraska's back, Nebraska's finally back. Okay. Dylan Riley take the huge step forward in his sophomore season, playing so well the world begins to wonder if Patrick Mahomes should mimic him instead. Ooh, that's pretty bold. That's a bold little thing. A little disrespecting the quarterback a little bit there. The transfers and incoming freshmen give the Huskers one of the best receiving corps in the league, and the loss of Tony White defense isn't felt. I agree, that's probably going to happen. Nebraska's only loss comes on the road versus Penn State, and the Huskers make their first trip to the Big Ten championship. Whoa, that's best case scenario. Okay. The only downside to after season, Dane leaves to take a head coaching job at Oklahoma State. I can see that happen, to be honest with you. And then as for worst case, okay, let's get into this. They say 5-7. Nebraska is not back. It turns out the 24 season was a bit of a fluke. How could it be a fluke? We only won 6 games in the ring. That's not a fluke. We only won 6 games. We're talking about last year like it was good. Last year was not a good year for us. It really wasn't. We literally crawled to a bowl game. We barely got there. We lost, 5 of our last 6 games? So last year, even if we went 4 games last year, wasn't a fluke because we were not good last year. Anyways, they say Dylan Ross spends too much time watching Jackson Mahomes on TikTok and not studying up game film. All right, that's just disrespectful right there. What are we doing? Lack of explosive plays on offense and defense put the Huskers in too many difficult spots. I agree. That's a big problem that we talked about in yesterday's video that we need to improve. Dylan Ross enters the transfer portal immediately. Okay, that's not happening. We could win 1 game next year, Dylan staying. I guarantee you that. But as for my analysis of this, I don't necessarily agree with the best case scenario. I honestly think our best case scenario is 10-2. Again, Nebraska, they have the ability to beat Michigan. I could even see him beat Penn State in some crazy world, but we're always going to lose games we shouldn't lose until I'm proven otherwise, right? We might lose against a Minnesota, Michigan State, and Iowa, right? A USC, right? UCLA and Pasadena. So again, it's too much. I think in my opinion, it's an easy schedule, but again, there's still a lot of trap games on there. So I just don't see 11-1, even if everything goes right. As for worst case scenario, I think it's valid. I think it's definitely valid. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say worst case scenario 6-6 because it's definitely not. Like 5-7 probably is worst case scenario. There is a chance. There's an outside chance that if Dylan does not take a step forward, the running back core is abysmal, and we get injured all over this team. There's an outside chance we don't make a bowl game. Like, is that going to happen? Probably not. But I agree. I think 5-7 probably is worst case scenario. This schedule is just too easy for us to do anything worse than that. So I think it's honestly pretty valid there. Again, as for the other schools, we'll just gloss over them real quick before we get to Phil Steele's prediction. Northwestern, no, I think they're going to have a losing record this year. Ohio State, valid. Oregon, if Oregon goes 8-4, I will. Okay, I don't even want. I was gonna say I'll delete my channel. I'm not gonna do that. But Oregon's gonna be really good. Oregon's gonna be great. Dante Moore's gonna be phenomenal. I really like them this year. Penn State. I think Penn State. Worst case 10-2. They have a decent schedule, so not too worried about that. Purdue. I think Purdue is a way better best case scenario. I think Purdue can win 7-8 games. Really do. They have a lot of unproven players on the team. They have a lot of portal players, but you just don't know what to expect from them. So we'll see what happens with Purdue. But honestly, I like their new head coach. Rutgers. Okay. UCLA. I think UCLA could shock some people. I think they could shock some people. USC, okay, USC is not going 11-1. This is never going to happen. Washington is not going 11-1 either. And Wisconsin, they're hating on Wisconsin. I don't mind that. Don't mind that. So, all right, guys, that is the Big Ten best and worst. Let's get to Phil Steele's preseason Big Ten ranking. So it's in 2 parts here. He has his preseason rankings, which is basically based on the level of talent on the team, schedules on the team, and then he makes his predictions for how it actually ends. So we'll start off things with the preseason rankings. So here we go. Ohio State number 1. I don't agree. I think it's going to be Penn State. I think Penn State's the most talented team in the Big Ten. I think they have the best returning quarterback. They have the best running back core in America. They have a great offensive line, great wide receiver core as well. So, yeah, I think Penn State's the most talented team, but again, Ohio State, whatever, that's fine. Penn State number 2, again, that's very close, very close. So, okay, that's fine. Oregon probably number 3, as it should be. Yep, there you go. Oregon, very talented. I still think Oregon's going to be a very good team this year. I think they're going to be consistently top 5, if not top 10. Michigan number 4, again, it's pretty consensus. I think everybody I've ever seen pretty much has Michigan 4. So, all right, this is where we're kind of getting to Nebraska range, right? Indiana at 5. I don't see it. Again, they lose so much production. It's basically like the same thing from last year. We just don't know what to expect from them. They could be great. They could be terrible. They have an easy schedule once again, but again, there's so much improvements with them replacing their pretty much entire team. So I don't think I'm going to put Indiana there. I probably put Illinois ahead of them, which they have at 6. Okay, great. Illinois, again, I think they're going to be solid. I don't know if they're going to be as solid as some people are saying. They're definitely not going to make playoffs. All right, there's Nebraska. All right, so again, a 7. I've seen us as high as 6. I've seen us pretty much as low as 9. So they think Nebraska is the 7th best. Phil Steele thinks we're the 7th best team in the Big Ten preseason wise. They say Raiola was a 5-star freshman with flash potential, but ran into too many mistakes, including 11 interceptions. With more experience and a new offensive coordinator, Dane Holgorsen, he's expected to improve. Okay. So again, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I think the Big Ten, I think especially the middle of the Big Ten is kind of weak this year. So, okay. You got USC at 8 there. We should be better than USC. Fingers crossed. Yeah, Iowa, 9. I think Iowa might be too high. This offense has so many question marks, and this is the first time in a long time they've brought in a transfer at quarterback from the FCS nonetheless. I'm not buying the Mark Gronowski hype. I'm just not doing that. But Washington, I think, could be better than people expect. Minnesota, I don't think Minnesota's going to be much of anything this year. Rutgers is going to be tougher than people expect. They always are. Wisconsin, okay. UCLA, all right. Okay, cool. And then the final predictions for the Big Ten. Let's get into it. So this is the finish. They have Penn State number 1. I think that's 100% accurate. 100% accurate. I love Penn State this year. I think they're going to be potentially in the mix for the championship. That honestly might be my sleeper pick to win it all, besides Texas. I think I have Texas 1, probably Penn State 2. You got Ohio State 2 there. Cool. Probably Oregon 3. Yep, Oregon 3. Okay, Michigan 4. Okay, there we go. We just got it out of the way. Where's Nebraska at? Illinois 5. All right. Indiana 6. Okay. USC 7. Where's Nebraska? Nebraska 8. Okay. So I think Nebraska will be the 8th best team in the Big Ten. Honestly, I don't know if I'd be satisfied with that. I don't think I'm going to be satisfied with that at all. If I'm looking for Nebraska, all this talk has been around Nebraska taking this huge leap. Matt, we're always making a huge leap in year 3. Being the 8th best team in the Big Ten isn't that huge a leap, in my opinion. It just isn't. Like it's again, once again, a nice little step in the right direction, sure, but is it that leap? Because we need that leap. Because I'm telling you, these 5-star recruits that we're trying to get in the 27 class are not going to be too impressed with the 8th finish in the Big Ten. Just saying. So, but interesting. I want to know what his record prediction is. I honestly can guarantee you, I've not read the magazine yet. I can probably guarantee you his prediction for us is 8-4. I pretty much guarantee it. Iowa at 9, as long as we're higher than Iowa. You got Minnesota 10. I don't get it with Minnesota this year. What do they got on their team? They got nothing. Their quarterback play is not great. Their running backs play is not great. They don't have any weapons at wide receiver anymore. Their offensive line is the worst it's been in a while. Their defense is solid. I just don't buy the Minnesota hype. I think Washington will be better than people expect. I love Jed Fish. Ooh, do they think that Luke Fickell keeps his job? There we go. I think UCLA is going to be better than people expect, and then Purdue dead last per usual. All right, guys, that's the reaction video talking about both CBS Sports and Phil Steele's prediction for Nebraska in 2025 and all the other Big Ten schools. Let me know your thoughts down below. Was Nebraska disrespected, or was it valid? Let me know what your thoughts are. Hey, everybody, have a good day. I appreciate all of you. Hit that like button and subscribe if you made this far. As always, folks, go be good, go Met Rule, and I'll see you in the next one.